Hi. This is enough. Okay, so we have audio. Fine. Finally, it has happened to me. Yes, we have all the meat. We have the meats. Now I'm going to take this olive oil. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we have an array of meats, and I want to make sure that it's going to be moist. So I'm going to put maybe about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into this meat. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to begin to season. So I'm going to bring all of my dry seasonings over here. And that's going to be that. Then beautiful sister is going to give me the wet seasonings, which are those vegetables that she pulverized. We don't want any texture from the vegetables. We just want the flavor. So we pulverize them down. Oh, they're right down here. Okay. So they're right down here. So we use our magic bullet. Now you can get texture if you want. If you have a magic bullet, a NutriBullet, I'm sorry. They used to call it magic bullet back in the days. You know, I'm stuck in nostalgia. But anyway, so what we did, we pulverized it because that's going to enhance the flavors when it gets in here. Okay, so in the mind of this meat, just like in the mind of the song, or the person in the song, okay, I think this meat is going to be 10 toes deep for me, and I think the meat will be better than the guy she had, for real. Anywho, so now I'm going to take my Casey's Blessing. That's the first thing I'm going to do, and make it rain. And I know I talked for about 20 minutes, and you guys didn't have any sound. Casey's Blessing. I have 50 of them, not this size. This is the Make It Rain one for you guys to try. And it will be for Maryland residents at this point, okay? But I'm going to set them out. We're going to do a pre-order. That will probably be on Tuesday or Wednesday. And you too can have your food less than highly flavored. Tell me what you think. Okay, so I'm going to just make it rain in here because with this, you can do that. So that's about 3 tablespoons of Casey's Blessing, and you can use whatever all-purpose seasoning you have available. Beautiful assistant was nice enough to powder up some rosemary for me. I think it's time for us to re-up. And I'm going to put a half a teaspoonful of the powdered rosemary in here because that's just going to make it taste good. Then I'm going to take my onion powder and put some in. Just like that. So no, half a teaspoonful of all of these dried ingredients. And with the exception of the Casey's Blessing, because you know we have to do what? Make it rain. So I'm going to do the same thing with the garlic powder. And I'm going to get a little bit of black pepper, but that's only going to be a quarter teaspoonful. Isn't that the nicest sound? And then I'm going to take a little bit of cumin. So the cumin is going to be a quarter teaspoonful. Now the cumin is to enhance my lamb. Because like I said, every part of this meatloaf has to have the flavors that complement. That's the key. Or it's not going to be what you want it to be. All right. And then finally, I'm just going to put a little pinch of salt in there for beautiful assistant, which we have not opened yet. That goes to show we hardly even use salt. You see this? Oh, there's one that's open underneath there.
Oh, okay. We got one that's open. Okay.
A little bit, that's why.
Okay. So it's a teeny tiny bit. We're going to put just a little bit there. There's no other salt in here besides that. I am going to use this onion soup mix because I told you guys I love the flavor of the soup part. So this does have a little bit of salt in it. The other things don't. It's not a whole lot of sodium in this other than the natural sodium that may come in whatever the ingredients are. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to tell you this. It sure has gotten hard these days for this thing to open.
Want me to help you?
No. I need a knife. They used to be able to tear. Now they got this paper. It's like a plastic coating underneath. So you can't just rip it. So I'm going to put a whole packet of this in here. But I crunched up the little onions. And I'm just going to stick that in there just like that. And I'll show you what it looked like when I finish. Okay. And I'm going to put that there. Okay. So now I'm going to take, do I have more minced garlic, which I do need? I'm going to take 2 tablespoonfuls of this minced garlic and put it in. Just like that. All right. And
Now I'm going to hit it with my herbs. So I'm going to hit it with a little cilantro, some basil, Italian herbs, and of course my parsley will be there to make it pretty. Now it has a flavor, trust me, and I do use it, but I don't really need all of that right now because it has a little bit of parsley in the Italian herbs. So I'm going to do what is called a pinch. I'm going to do a big pinch. Now a pinch is your index finger and your thumb. You can do small pinches, you can do medium pinches, and you can do large ones. You know, I got to go big. What can I tell you? And I'm going to do that for each one of these. So this is the cilantro. And I'm going to do a medium pinch for cilantro. Okay, just like that. And then finally, I'm going to do my basil, which I'm going to do a large pinch because I just love the flavor of this. I really do. Excuse me, a little bit of that seasoning got in my throat. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to do a big pinch of that. Get that over in there, just like that. Okay, dokie now. So now that I have all these ingredients in, I'm going to get my breadcrumbs and I have my egg. And like I said, I don't do a whole lot of breading because I want my meat to taste like meat. I just do. What I also do is I take a little bit. Some people will put just straight tomato paste. I don't do that. I put a little bit of the ketchup in here, and you can use sugar-free or no sugar added ketchup. That's a good thing too. So you can do that. But before I do that, I'm going to take this NutriBullet and I'm going to pour this mixture in here. And this is the bell peppers, the onions, and the skin of the jalapeno. It's not going to be hot. It just has a good flavor. So let me put that in here. And this is going to provide some more moistness to this meatloaf. The thing I hate the worst, and I don't know how you guys feel about meatloaf. I don't want dry meatloaf. And I've had some dry meatloaf before, and I don't care what they put on it. It still looks like a nice big cracker. Okay. So did you put water on? Is that what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. Could you put, because I thought I was seeing smoke coming from the oven. I didn't realize that she was back there putting that on. Okay.
Should I put on this hand?
Yeah, probably. I'm going to take a teaspoonful of this smoky paprika and I'm going to put it in there. This not only gives it a good flavor, but it gives it a nice color. So I got all those ingredients in. I have my ketchup. I'm going to take a half a cup of this ketchup and put it in just like that. Turn it up. And I am going to beat my egg some more. Gently, I'm gently whipping my egg. Yes, I am. Because I want it to be totally incorporated, the white and the yellow to be incorporated. Hey there, my sister. How are you? All right. So now it's pretty incorporated. Now, you people just crack their egg over here. Listen, I like to have everything incorporated and then we marry these flavors together. That's just me, y'all. What can I tell you? All right, so now that we have everything in here, the last ingredient will be these breadcrumbs. Now, I said I wasn't going to use these. I want to use my panko ones. I'm going to show you the difference between the panko ones and these, and the reason why I like these. So the panko ones look like this, and they're a little lighter. Let me just take a little bit out, see if you can see it. Okay, they're a little bigger, if you can see, and I'm just making a mess so you can see it. Okay. Than these. Okay, these are a little finer and then they have seasoning. And they tend to be a little drier in my opinion. But you can use whatever you like. Like I said, my mom, when she made meatloaf back in the day, she actually, nobody wanted the edges of the bread, but she wasn't throwing them away. So what she would do, she would use the edges of the bread because they were a little stiffer and she may or may not toast them a little. And what she would do is get a hand grater and she would grate the fresh breadcrumbs, and it was so delicious and it made it so moist. So I used to do that a lot. And then I got lazy and got some and then I got some crumbs. Okay. Those crumbs like what Angie Stone's person in the song was getting from that guy. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, she was definitely getting crumbs. She set herself up, some people will do things like this. And it has a lot to do, in my opinion, with self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. You put yourself in the position of vulnerability because you want what you think you want, okay? And what is presented to you may not be, all that glitters is not gold. So she invested herself into someone who was clearly not invested in anything other than having a leg up from her. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a half a cup of these panko breadcrumbs in this mixture. And that's all. So that's going to be about a handful, just like that, with all this meat. A handful and a half with all this meat. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I want it to bind. I don't want it to come apart. I'm not putting a whole lot because I want you to taste every single bit of this meat. I want you to get the experience. That's what I want. And like I was saying earlier, I did use beef, I used lamb, and I used pork because I did the pig. If you don't dig the pig, you can use turkey or you can use chicken. Okay, you do not have to do you can do whatever 3 combinations you want. This is just mine. You make it your own. Okay, so let me get one of my wooden spoons so I can stir this up. And I'm going to also get some gloves because I want to put my hands all up in it. Okay, so I got this. Now, so I want you guys to see. This is what it looks like with all of the seasonings. And then I'm just going to kind of take my little wooden spatula and kind of put little indentations in it. So I'm doing this. I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. So I can kind of get it somewhat combined, but not all the way because like I told you, I'm putting my hands in this too. Okay, just like that. And just kind of turning it over until I can get pretty much all of the meat kind of kissed. And get all those seasonings in there like I need them to be. And then I'll turn around. Then I'll take my hand and I'll put it in here and I'll really kind of get it all combined. But I'm going to put those gloves on. It's going to be messy. Just like that. I think I'm going to bring this. Actually, I'm going to bring one of my little things over here so I can put that on there. One of these here things, yes. Okay, so let me get a paper towel and my gloves. Okay, let me get a pair of gloves here. So I can get my hands all in here, get all up in here and not nice and dirty. That's what I'm gonna do. Right? So, anywho, so with her song or this particular dynamic, like I was saying earlier, it does not have to be a physical manifestation of this person coming back into her life. It's the feeling that she wants back. This person, and then I would surmise just from the way that the lyrics go, and then of course, you see the videos. I would surmise that this person still lives there. I think she took this person in, helped them get on their feet. Now they got a little something. They really weren't into her, but she was convenient. She fell deeply and madly in love with this person and thought this was going to be a real relationship or situationship or whatever. So now I got my hands all up in here, and I'm just kind of turning around. And what happened is once he got on his feet, he was stepping out with her money. Okay, with her money. And probably her car and probably her cell phone that she paid for. And she's sitting here waiting every single evening when he's out doing what he does to come home and just give her a little bit of the attention that he showered on her in order to lure her in to feeling this emotional entrapment. That's it. Emotional entrapment. So I say to you guys, what do you guys think? Have you ever experienced something like that before? Do you know anybody who has? I know a couple of people. I know several people. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. There's a reason why Jennifer Holiday sang, and I'm telling you, okay, she's telling him, okay, you're not going nowhere. My emotions are bigger than the both of us. I'm gonna make you into what I need you to be. I don't know if you guys have ever heard before. I've heard people say, I'm gonna make a man. I'm gonna make a woman. I trained him or her. Come on, what are we, seals? Okay, you're not supposed to have to train somebody to be what you want them to be. Now you can see things in a person that they may not see in themselves, and you grow together and you support that person, into becoming whatever. Okay, but that needs to be something mutual. It shouldn't be because, hey, I see you, I'm really digging you. You are the person I think I can see beyond all of that and see what I want to make you out of. It's not going to work because it has to be a mutual thing. Both people have to be involved in the process. I can't just decide, say, because I am financially better off than you are and you're in need, that I'm going to dress you. I'm going to tell you how to wear your hair. I'm going to tell you, this is the career you need and this, that, and the third. And I'm going to make a mate. Because that's not fitting. Okay, that is taking a square peg and putting it into a round hole and wondering why you having arthritis pains. Okay, that is squeezing things really tight so you can hold on to it emotionally while the other person is looking like Pepe Le Pew, if you know what that is, and the cat, because the cat trying to get away because Pepe don't smell too good, but Pepe hadn't got the memo that the cat's not a skunk. And he's just all over her, okay? So you still have these emotions, and really, probably that guy has found someone else he can live with, and probably is coming home less and less and less, so he's not coming home at all. And she's sitting there just waiting for like one little drip of emotion from him that she can recognize. And this is giving her sleepless nights. This is giving her anxiety. This is giving her all of these feelings that really she should just put somewhere and harness the hurt and move forward with her life and get with somebody who deserves her and she deserves. But she's blocking the ability to do that because she's so busy wanting what she thinks she wants. What do you guys think? What do y'all think?
I mean, I do agree with that, honestly. I was like,
Can't really hear her.
I was really wondering, like,
Come a little closer.
I was wondering, like, has there ever been any contemplation of what you would do if he actually did come back? Like, what would she take him back? Would she leave him? Like, how would she react? Like, you wouldn't expect him to actually come back, but if by some weird, turn of events, he crawls back to her.
Yeah.
Like,
Why would she want him back?
Okay,
but the fact that you expended all this energy and effort, pawning and fiending over this individual, and then they return. So it's like, now what?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you like this: because of his initial behavior, it seems as though he is somebody who is a taker, and he will take from whoever is willing to give. So I would say maybe if he got in whatever position he was in, financially or emotionally or whatever he was when he met her, that had him to turn to her in the first place, he would try it again. And the reason why he would try it again is because she's sitting there waiting for him to give her a little bit of attention. When in reality, when he went out the door, it should hit him where the good split him. And that should have been it. And then he can be somebody else's issue. You know what I'm saying? And if he falls on hard times, I can't say because she is so emotionally attached to him. So it would 6 months later, if he came back probably with a sob story, she might take him back. Okay, so look, guys, this is all. You saw how nice incorporated that is, all of the seasonings. So now I'm going to go here and spray this glass pan. We're going to get it in and get it in the oven.
Almost like in a way to justify the fact that you waited so long. Like, see, I knew I was right.
Yes. So of course he's gonna try it. I'm just rinsing my glove off, y'all, because I don't want to have to get another one just to put this in here. I think he will try. I don't think that he has the, what do you call it? He has the integrity to not come back.
No, he doesn't. And that's why it's like, I'm not even questioning whether he would be willing. My question is, would she accept that again? Because, is it a pride thing because she spent so much time wanting
that's another aspect. Sometimes people are so prideful till pride gets in the way of common sense. I was talking to someone today, and I said, do you really want to be in a marriage because you want to be committed to that person, you want to spend your life with that person? Or do you want to be in a marriage because you think that is what is expected of a female?
Right.
I want you to think about that, because what you have existing at this point is working for you. I don't tell anybody they got to say I do, because saying I does not make you a committed person. Okay, commitment makes you stay. Commitment makes you faithful. Commitment makes longevity. And it doesn't matter if it's a signature on or not. That is a personal decision that you make with you and the person and your higher power or whatever. Let me spray this. So I'm going to spray my little glass bowl here so it doesn't stick. Okay. So that being the case, so I'm saying to the person, I said, okay, so what you have right now is good. You've had it for a lot of years. If the other person is like, hey, it ain't broke, I'm not fixing it. Are you going to walk away when things are really good and you really truly don't want to change anything about the way your situation is? You like the freedom, you like those things, you like all these things. But because you think society says that you're supposed to be a girl and every girl dreams of their wedding. No, they don't. That's what somebody tells you. Okay? I didn't dream of weddings. I dreamed of singing. I just happened to find my soulmate and he found me. But that wasn't my trajectory in life. So the fact that you're concerned about what other people think because you've been together all these years is a moot point. Because I'm going to tell you, and I will say this, hey, she said, I love the colors of my caftan. Thank you, sister. Let me get this in here, and then I'm going to make that point. Okay, I want to get the meatloaf in here. This is a pretty thick one. And the bigger your pan, the faster the meatloaf is going to cook because you can thin it out. This is going to be, I don't know, I may be able to thin it out. Okay, so I'm putting the meat in here, and then I'm going to flatten it out and kind of get it even all the way around, guys. And then we're going to get in the oven. I'm trying not to touch, make a mess here. I got to clean it up, but I want it to be flat in here so it can cook evenly. Because it's going to cook, see, the outer parts of your food always cooks first. So you want to make sure the middle part is going to be done. Because we're using 3 different types of meat. So like beef, you can eat rare. Lamb, yeah, sort of, kind of. They all have different temperatures. So because we mix them all together, we want to be mindful of the one that needs the most cooking.
Poultry would need the most cooking.
Poultry is going to need the most cooking. Okay, we don't have poultry. We have pork. We have lamb, and we have beef.
Okay, so 145.
They're all kind of the same.
So yeah, technically around 145 is the lowest.
Right. So the lowest I can do is 1. And see, that's why you want to make sure the meats that you use complement each other. Okay, you can put some turkey in here, but you want to make sure probably a little bit longer to cook it if you mix it with turkey. Yeah, so 165 or 160 or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm putting it in, and I'm trying to make it nice and neat, so when it cooks, it doesn't look all crazy. You know me, but you ain't got to do all that if you don't want to. I'm very visual. I'm very visual. Okay, so now I got it even. I'm going to make it a little thinner in the middle and a little thicker on the outside because that's going to allow it to cook evenly. So you press it down a little in the middle, do it around the sides. Let me get that out the way. I'm going to get a little paper towel to wipe the edges off where I got a little bit of meat there. Let me get this in here. If you could give me a piece of paper towel, that'd be nice because I don't want to touch things. Okay, and I'm just going to clean this off a little, just like that around. I haven't used this in a while, but I like to use it because I can see what's going on and I can let you guys see. So I'm pressing it down. Yeah, and it will cook. It will. Once it gets hot, it will cook a little faster. Yeah, definitely. And since we had these little snafus, we trying to kind of rush a little bit here, because yeah. All right, so let me get this in the garbage. Take these gloves off. And saying to her, I'm still not finished with the story. So I'm going to show y'all this. Okay, so this is what you want it to look like if you use a casserole dish. And yes, it's flat. If you use a loaf pan, then of course it's going to be a little thicker in the top. I want mine to have even cooking. I want it to happen quickly. So what I'm going to do now, this is what I do with all my meatloafs. I take, and that's where the non-stick foil comes in. You don't have to have that. You can tint it. But since I have it, hey, why not use it? And because I'm using it on a glass bowl, see this, usually I'll get foil, y'all, and I'll throw the pan away. But with these glass bowls, you have to be really intentional because they don't have that ability to hold on to stuff. So what I'm doing, if you see, I make almost like a tint of this foil. So let me get it even on both sides. This is what I mean when I'm tinting stuff. Just like that. So putting it over, and then I'm opening it this way, and I'm going to try to attach it to the ends of this. It works better when you do with a foil pan, but the whole purpose is I want to get some on, I want to leave a little bit of air on each side so it can cook the way I need it to cook. This is going to look a little sloppy because this is glass. But if it was foil, it would hold on there better. But anyway, the purpose of the exercise is to cover this, just like that, and just lightly cover. This is going to help it steam through and cook. So you see what I'm saying? Just like that. Doesn't have to be pretty. We're going to get it in the oven. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Let's get that in. And then I'm going to get me a sip of water because I'm thirsty. All right. So I'm going to get this in the oven. It's on 400. Like that. I'm putting it in the center of the oven because that's what you always want to do when you're baking. That's going to give you equal footing with the heat distribution. Okay, let's get this over here. I want that to be pretty much done because then I'm going to stick that in the oven and brown.
Okay, how long do you want the meatloaf in there?
We're going to do 40 minutes. We're going to do 40 minutes. I'm going to check it before then. Beautiful assistant is setting her timer. Yes, she is. And so anyway, so I'm talking to my friend and I'm saying to her, okay, this is a long-term relationship. Have you been happy? Have you been fulfilled? Would you change anything if you went and said, I do? No, I wouldn't. Is your partner aligned with wanting to be married? Partner really is like, hey, I'm good. I care about you. You care about me. We're committed to each other. So it's not that, the partner is like, hey, I ain't got to do all that. But you want the pomp and circumstance because of really what your idea of what you think society expects of you being with this person long term. And so I just kind of put it in, put it to her for thinking. If you want to be married because you want to be committed to that person and that's your soulmate and this, that, and the third, and that's, your dynamic, then do it for those reasons. Don't do it for the reasons of what other people think. Okay, because at the end of the day, what other people think is irrelevant because most of the people that have something to say don't have anybody to be with. So you think about that. And I mean psychiatrists all the way down. Okay, psychiatrists have to have psychiatrists because all of the emotional stuff that they have to take in. So I'm saying this to say, your perfect relationship is your perfect relationship. However it works. What it looks like from the outside is immaterial. So that goes back to what beautiful sister said about her pride. At this point, I'm sure everybody knows that she has invested in this person so much, and this is supposed to be her person. They're supposed to be a couple, and now he has dipped on her. So there may be a little bit of embarrassment, definitely, a little bit of her pride stepping in the way. This is how I planned it. you're not going to deviate. And I know there's something, whatever it was that originally got you here can get you back. Not necessarily. Because if it was a financial factor and he no longer has that and he really wasn't down for you, no. Water. So you got to think about that. So at this point, we have taken this song, 2-3 different directions. And see, that's what I'm saying to you guys. When I pick these songs, we listen to them. And the reason why I pick the songs, because the songs give a lot of ammunition or information or whatever for you to think about in the form of relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been a person that listened to the lyrics when I listened to the music. And I tried to pick it apart. And so now I'm an antique, and I really can pick, because I understand a lot of the things that I was singing about when I was younger and didn't understand it. So, yeah, it's a lot of things. People live, I will tell you like this. I have people saying, I'm in a relationship with myself. Yeah, you probably are and probably should be. And the reason why I'm saying it is because most people don't know themselves. So to sit and say that I'm unfulfilled in a relationship, to sit and say that I'm not happy in a relationship, if you have to sit and think to yourself, well, if I'm not happy, what do I do to make me happy? What really is going to make me happy? People can tell you what makes them comfortable. People can tell you what makes them content, okay? But can people tell you what really brings them joy in a relationship? Now, a lot of people will go back to, when I first met them and I was Googling. Yeah, that was a sense of euphoric joy. But that's not sustainable joy, okay? You need to think about do you want joy in your relationship? And everybody don't need all that, okay? Some people need comfortable. Comfortable is good. Some people need reliable. Some people need all those things in one. You know what I'm saying? So don't knock yourself because you're like, oh, I'm not Anita Baker going, you bring me joy. No, okay? Because joy could be, hey, you done brought me my slippers because I can't bend down because Arthur is writing. And now that's joy, okay? Don't knock what you have, comparing it to what other people say they have or whatever, or what you see from the outside. That's what I'm saying. And I see 7 lovely people sitting there. Can you like a sister if you do? If this is meaningful to you, for real, it's like, hey, hit the like button. Subscribe. We're always here every single week. Sometimes we never have that kind of technical issue. I don't know what's going on with that thing. I am telling you, sometimes there are forces in this world that try to keep you from being great. And we never, ever, ever surrender to the dying of the light on this show, ever. Because this is our house and we live here and we invite you in. When you come here, you're home. Your opinion matters. If you don't say nothing, if you just listen while I'm talking, that's fine. You get a good meal, you get a good talk, and you get a good thought. And that's it. And I learned some things if y'all choose to tell me stuff. That's it. Because I don't mind y'all getting all up in my business and I don't mind getting in yours. But anyway, like I was saying, beautiful assistant. I know that I'm going to stick my neck out there and say, yeah, she would probably sit there for the next 10 years waiting for him to come back. And I'm going to tell you like this, she may get another relationship, but because she has not had closure with this one, and this one comes back and says maybe the right thing to her, she will sabotage that good relationship to go back to that toxic one because she needs to have closure. Now, if she's real slick, she'll go back and then she'll, leave him the way that he was. But, then we're talking about being vindictive, and so you still are not ridding yourself of what you need to rid yourself of, for real. So what I'm going to do now is I decided that I wanted a little fancy mac and cheese with this. And I've made a skillet mac and cheese before. But this is not capitalized, and it just really goes real good with this. You can have this with rice. You can have yourself a meatloaf sandwich. You can have cheesy potatoes. You could have mashed potatoes. You could have just vegetables. You can have it with a salad. It's so many different things you can do with it. And the thing about it is you can save it and it will be good for yet another day. And I call it royal remainders. Why? Because royal remainders, they are delicious. Don't get it twisted. It's not a leftover. Okay. They command attention, just like royalty. So in any case, that's that for Angie. Now, if you guys looked at in my short, that had a song for you by Donny Hathaway. Well, that's one of my favorite songs. And the song really talks about the things that he did in a relationship that wasn't too nice. He wasn't a good mate. He wasn't these things. But at the end of the day, he really, really, really says that he loves this person. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of the person who has been hurt. The person who has watched all these things as he's writing this song for you. Okay, which is a beautiful song. However, I'm sitting here and he's like, I've been so many places in my life and times. I've seen the little things and I wrote some rhymes. But when my life is over, I'm singing this song for you. Okay, first of all, I don't want... Right. I don't want to have to wait for the goodies. Give me my flowers now. Why did it take for you to have done all the things that you did to realize that I am the one and that you should be doing everything for me? And when your life is over. Okay, so Pam, you say, boy, do you love meatloaf sandwiches with my sister is hungry. But you talk about the meatloaf sandwich with cheese. Yes, you can do all that with this. And it'll be really good. And you can use 2 meats or you can use 1 meat, but I just, I got to take it there. But like I said, with him, I'm not looking at it from the perspective of he is professing his undying love. And even though I haven't been a good person or a good mate or a good companion or anything for you, you need to know that I'm singing a song for you. Now, on the flip side, you thought that he was something that he projected to be. And that's what he says in there. I know that you see me in a different way than I really am. And I haven't lived up to that, okay? But you have a picture in your mind of who this, it's like you looking beyond all the muck, you looking beyond all the junk, you looking beyond all that because you see him at the core and his possibilities. And so that's why you hung around. So you told yourself, okay? And so when he gives you a few little crumbs here and there when he's not out doing what he's doing or whatever, just being himself and not including you, you're still hanging around with that vision in your mind, okay, that this is potential. He's going to live up to this, okay? He just hasn't blossomed yet. So you're like, okay, just like my meatloaf. Oh, it looks so lovely and so good. And then you put too much sauce on it. And it becomes overwhelming. And you're looking at this like, can I really eat all of that? Did it really look like this? So I thought it was a little bit neater than that. I didn't know that he was a slob. I didn't know that, and then you're doubting yourself. You're like, okay, well, why did I really stay? Because he's singing this song for me? I don't think so. You stayed because of the illusion of this person. And that's probably about it. Okay, so we can't fight our illusions somehow. Sometimes we can't fight our living in, I find that it is easier for people, and I say this over and over again, to live the life of an ostrich. And people are like, what is she talking about? Your head in the sand. But when you live your life with your head in the sand and you bring your head back out, what do you have in your eyes? Dirt. Can you really see? Okay. Hair all full of everything. Okay. Got to go to the hair salon, So what I'm saying is, it is best to bring yourself out. It is not easy. It may be painful, but just come up for a little bit of air. And then you can get some perspective, because a lot of times people bargain or they bargain with the fact that, hey, I'm gonna keep them right there, and they're gonna keep on letting me do what I do. And I'm not gonna say that he's not so deeply in love with her, but love shouldn't have to hurt. Love shouldn't have to wait. Love shouldn't have to turn you into something that you're not. Either way, okay? She shouldn't be trying to see things in him that really isn't there. Because he just told her, I know that you think I'm more about more than what I actually am showing you. And maybe I am that person when my life is over. And I've done, and I don't mean, what do they call it? Unalived. I mean, when I finish living my life and doing all the things I want to do that's fun for me. And now I ain't got nothing else to do but to sit here and be with you. Now, all this stuff that we done missed that I could have been having some fun too, but I got to wait for you to get it all out your system so you can sing this song for me. Right. Okay. I guess. Right. Okay. Beautiful assistant said, when you retire. Yeah, there you go. When you retire and I can't do nothing else, okay, I'm singing this song for you. Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's not an image. It's about the potential, just like I said, okay? And like I said, the image of what, and this is what it says in the song, the image of me is what I hope to be. He said he was that. He said he hopes to live up to those expectations. I don't know if I can. Maybe not. So I'm going to get over here while I do this, and I'm going to mix up this mac and cheese. So that way, when this meatloaf comes out the oven, we can just kind of brown it nicely because it's a skillet mac and cheese. It ain't hard.
It's crazy. Like, out of all those beautiful words, like, he never once made a promise or anything that he was going to be any different than he has been in.
Yeah, beautiful sister says that she's right. She said, after all, and that is the most beautiful, prolific song. It is so beautiful. But she said he never made any promises that he was going to be anything other than what he already was. But he's singing this song for you.
Just so you know, I still think about you sometimes, but
so
it's still going to be me.
Some relationships are built on the expectation of what it can be. And you can waste a lot of years and a lot of time. No day is promised to you. It could be Eglin's best tomorrow. So I say, and and I say this all the time, and people laugh at me when I say, they're like, oh, can't you wait till Mother's Day comes? Can't you wait till your birthday? Can't you wait? Those are lovely, lovely days. But all the days in between matter too. All those days matter too. And so I want you to give me my flowers every day. And I want to give you yours every day. That way, in case we don't get to Mother's Day or we don't get to the birthday, there's no regret. How about that? Because the worst thing to do is to have to live with that. For sure. Yes, I do need that. So if you can drain, did you drain the macaroni? Okay, so we're going to drain the macaroni. I still need my pot because I'm going to mix it up in there and I'm going to put it into the skillet and just have it ready, so it can go in there. And I'm going to drink me some water because I'm very thirsty. And that'll be that. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to put a couple of things in this mac and cheese that you may not put in there, just to make it different and fancy or whatever. Okay, what is my favorite flour? Artificial ones. I'm just being real because I don't want them to not, I want to be able to keep them. So what I usually do, if I get flowers, I will always take a couple out and I will dry them and I'll press them in something and I save them forever, ever, forever, ever. I will save anything that someone gives me, little pieces of stuff so I can remember. I really, flowers for me, if they're silk, they're great because I just dust them off and they last forever. So yeah, artificial flowers, any kind. I'll be totally honest. Listen, I'm New York City all day long. Concrete, hey. I think Did I ever see a different kind? Yeah, I did, because we lived in the suburbs. So I did see some other type of birds. But I'm being totally honest, we saw more pigeons than we did anything else. She's like, okay. So yes. So when my life is over, send me some artificial flowers. How about that? That'll last. But like I said, back to what I was saying, you in this particular situation, whoever this person was for him, this mate or whoever it was, I think that this person was very loyal, very committed, saw some things in this person who was writing this song for them, and kind of went along with the program, hoping that at some point at the end of the road, whatever that road is, that they're going to do a 360 and they're going to get back all of that they poured in. Okay. All of that and I'm going to tell you like this. I look at it like this. When you give a gift to someone, if you're giving a gift to get the gift back, you shouldn't give gifts. For real. For real. Okay. If you're giving something freely, it has not been something talked about. You didn't have a discussion. You can't expect that people are going to read your mind. Now, some people go into relationships for the wrong reasons because they are looking for something other than the companionship or the commitment or all of those things that come with a quote unquote healthy relationship. And when they do that, there's always going to be some collateral damage. It really is. And it really is collateral damage to the person who thinks that they are getting over or they're not as invested or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you go from one person to the next, a little piece of you is left there. Okay. For some people more than others. Okay. A little piece of you, whether it's a negative piece or whether it's a positive piece. If it was any positivity in the relationship, even if you were faking, that part of your fakeness is left there. And so now you got to recreate another piece of fakeness to go on to the next person. Now, what ends up happening eventually, that person who has played this role all this time finally gets to that person that can play them. And then they're really invested. And they don't know how to react because they don't really know how to feel, because they really haven't felt. They've been leaving little pieces of what they think is going to be acceptable to get them what they want, if I'm making sense. Okay. So I say this, and I have sympathy for people, and you're like, okay, why do you feel sorry for them? Because they weren't born that way. They didn't come that way. Their experiences or lack thereof made them that way, and they may not feel safe in a relationship. They may not feel that they deserve a relationship. They may feel, hey, I'm going to get all I'm going to get before somebody gets me. You don't know what's going on in somebody's head. Now, I'm not trying to give any excuses, okay, because I don't think anybody should have to put up with anybody's mess, okay? But I'm here to tell you, there are reasons behind all this stuff. And again, I will go back to the very first show. Communication is key. If you're sitting here thinking, and people think all the time, I'm not going to say anything because it's going to rock the boat. And I'm just going to be this perfect person. I'm going to cook. I'm going to clean. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to rub their feet. I'm every woman. I'm going to be all those things and every man. And that's going to make them love me and stay with me. Well, what it will do is make them like all those things. And when you can't do it anymore, then you're not fun. So you got to present who you are from the start. They got to love who you are from the start. If they don't love who you are from the start, you shouldn't be sitting here waiting to get the crumbs to sprinkle back over you and make you feel what you felt in the beginning, because it's never going to be that unless they want to get you in a place of where you were. Let me go over here and get this map going. All right, so what I'm going to do, this is usually warm. So what I do is I take my pot. You want to drain your macaroni so there's no water at all. So I'm going to put this over here. Now I'm going to get a stick of butter and I'm going to melt it in the pot so I can heat up my macaroni. So, yeah. I'm going to get a stick of butter because butter does what makes all things better. And I'm going to put it in here, but I'm going to spray my pot first because I don't want anything sticking. Just like that. Let me put a little spray in there. Then I'm going to take this butter and stick it in the middle of here, and I'm going to stick it on the stove and let it melt. Once it melts, then I'm going to I'm going to make my cheese sauce. That's what I'm going to do. And that's very important. Your cheese, now some people will use flour and make a roux. I don't do that. I use a lot of cheese. That's what I do. So let me stick this here.
Not to be rude, but we don't use a roux.
Okay. That's corny, Corey.
I can't help it.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. He don't have to be rude. He don't use a roux. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, for your mac and cheese, you don't need some fruit. You don't get it.
No, I don't. I don't get that. Okay, you have to decipher that one for me because I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't use a roux.
Okay.
Like roux. Like
No.
Sounds kind of like roux.
No. I don't know. Do you guys know what they're talking about? Because I don't. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, let me bring this over here. I'm going to bring all my things over here.
Hey, we getting laughs. People are laughing.
They are laughing.
Yeah.
Are they laughing?
They're laughing at us. Laughing.
Yeah, they're laughing at you laughing. Okay, I didn't see anybody laughing but the two of
They
you.
were laughing emojis. You didn't see it?
Oh, little laughing emojis, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. Okay, so I'm gonna let this. And you know what? These people who have done all these things for these people who are not paying attention to them, they probably laughed at their corny jokes too. They probably did. That's corny. That went way over my head, y'all. Maybe y'all can explain it to me because I don't know what they're talking about. I'm just saying. Yeah. So, guess what? You didn't notice. I decided not to put the egg in. And the reason why is because it was so much. The egg helps make it bind, but it also helps make it moist. I had so much moistness when I put it together, so I didn't need to put the egg in. So, egg is optional depending on the meats that you use. If I were using turkey or just the straight beef or whatever, I would probably put the egg in because I probably would have put more breadcrumbs. But not to worry because I'm still going to use this egg. Trust and believe. You just wait and see. Okay, so let me gather all my cheeses together. And so the first thing I do is I love this Velveeta cheese sauce. Usually this will come with like the little Velveeta shells, but they sell it separate. So you can use any pasta and you can have this cheese sauce. And it's a good base. Like I said, I like to use cheeses. People use roux. I don't do the roux for my mac and cheese. As a matter of fact, I didn't even like mac and cheese because it was always roux. And when I learned how to do it this way, when I got older and was cooking my own stuff, that's when the mac and cheese really got good. I'm just saying. I was never a big mac and cheese person. Okay, so I got all kinds of cheese here. Okay, so I have this. Oh, did they bring mine? Yep, I have that. So I'm going to use, this is what you do when you got all kinds of cheeses in your refrigerator. And you just want to use them because you don't want to let them go bad. And I got cheese for days, y'all. It's cheese everywhere. So let's see. What all am I going to, I got so many things for cheese. Okay, so, I have a lot, guys. So I'm just going to use every cheese that I can find here. And that's what you do. So you never know what you have in your fridge that you can make something out of. I have a little mozzarella. I have a little Gouda. I have a triple cheddar blend. And then I have some Velveeta slices because I couldn't get the shreds. So I'm going to use that. So that's good. Let's see what we got going on here. Cause let me move this up because it's taking forever for this butter to melt. Now because I turned it up, it started sizzling. Ha ha ha. Okay. And see, that's why I had turned it down because I don't want it to brown. Okay, I just want it to melt. So I'll put it back to 4. And then I'll kind of chop it up, I guess. It was cold out of the refrigerator. So if you got a room temperature, it's going to melt faster. Okay, so get that in here, just like that. All righty. So it's going to melt in a couple of seconds. And then once it does that, then I will start seasoning up. Because what I do is I make my cheese sauce, and then I season it up with all the good stuff, put it all together, and then you add more cheese, and then you sit it underneath the broiler and you let it brown. And then when you scoop it out, ooh, baby, it's better than somebody coming back and showering you with that false love. It really is. It's real love, I tell you. Real love, mac and cheese. So let's see. Let's get over here. So we are at 11 minutes and 31 seconds. I want to take a look at this meatloaf and see where we're at, because at a certain point you take the foil off and you let some of those juices absorb. So let's see what we got. And I always do this because it always steams up my glasses. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Okay, that's looking pretty mighty nice. Yeah, it is. Okay, we're going to cover it some more. Let me see. Let's see what we're doing. Because like I said, we have all these different meats, so it's a little different. Okay, so what's happened is the juices are coming up. They're rising. And then I'll get to the point where I will take this off and then let the juices kind of absorb a little. Because this is a pretty thick meatloaf. All right, so I think this is, butter's almost melted. I don't want it to start getting angry. So let me just stir it, just like that, and finish melting it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it down to a low, because I'm working with this cheese, and I'm working with, I'm going to be working with cheese and cream, and this pan will get hot. So what I'm going to start with, these Velveeta singles here, and kind of put them in the bottom. So I'm going to do I'm going to do 5 of these, and I'm going to put them in the bottom of here. Just open them up. Now, usually I'll get the shreds, but they didn't have it. So, hey, I'm the person, if one door closes, another one opens, and I'm going to use whatever is going to get me the taste I need to get. These are a little thinner, but it's better than putting the big chunks in, and then having to wait for it to melt. So I got 5 of these in here. Boy, they've gotten thinner. They weren't this thin back when. It's like you have one of these. It used to be 2. One of these little thin things, they used to be double the size. But they didn't cut the price. No, they didn't. So I guess I'll put one more. I'll put 6 in there because it's so thin. Okay, I'll put that in there. Whoop. Put you in here and get you back in the fridge. And then I'll put in your buddy, which is going to be the cream sauce. Let me get that out the way. And then I'm going to have to open this up. So let's see. Do I use my knife? Do I use my knife? Yes, I use my knife. Because it's easier that way. Okay, so let me just move that over and cut that. Now you can use some kitchen scissors or whatever. But, I'm just using whatever I got available here. And getting this open. There you go. And get the other side open. Just be very careful if you're using a knife, because they over there sitting at the edge of their seats. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze this in to this. And I start from the bottom and squeeze my way over and get it all out. That way I can get everything out into the pan. Just like that. All right. Okay, so that's in there. So we got that done. So let's get this out of the way. Okay. Let me just get that because a little bit just dripped on my floor. So let me wash my hands. Because I had to get that up. Okay, so dry that off. And so I'm going to get a little closer here. And I'm going to bring this over here because I need to get to stirring slowly. So, yeah. I got that. Of course, I'm going to bring this. You know, I can't leave home without this. It's like American Express. Casey's Blessing. Everything. Okay, so let's get it. Put it over here. And then I will start stirring. So I'm going to take this. And I'm just letting the butter, and I'm going to take it up a little. Take it up to 3. I'm letting the butter and I'm letting the cheese sauces and the slices of cheese melt. So they can become like a little sauce. And they will do that. And I want to do it very intentionally because I don't want it to burn or to scorch. So I will look at it and see if it's moving the way I need it to move. And if it's not, then I'll turn it up and let it kind of sit. So yeah, I'm taking it till 4. And then I'm going to watch it. Now, once I can get my cheese sauce where I want it, then I will put all of my seasonings in. And then once I get this lovely meatloaf out, I'll put it on broil. We'll crisp it on the top. And then we can plate that puppy up over there. Now, yes.
Okay, yeah.
So what I need now, because I'm gonna make the glaze for it. I just need that little silver bowl with the top. Now you can do one of 2 things. You can cook your glaze, or you can just make it cold and put it on it because you're going to put it on here. And like I said, you want to heat it if you want to put extra on there. But it's very simple to do, and it's yummy. Okay. And I think I'm gonna take it up. Look at that stuff jumping all out the pan. I'm gonna take it up a notch, but I'm gonna get over here and do this first. Put this over here. So, like I was saying with the glaze, very simple. Or you don't even have to have it, because I'm gonna tell you the meat is gonna be so flavorful until you really don't need it. But I like it, so I'm gonna take 2 cups of this ketchup, put it in here, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take some minced garlic, and I'm going to put some more, because I have some more over here, about a tablespoonful of the minced garlic. And let me get the other one. Let's see, are you open? Let's see. Yeah. You're open. Just like that, just a little. Okay, I'm going to get my herbs. And I'm going to hit it with some basil, and that's it. Not going to be real complicated, y'all. Just a pinch of basil. And then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to hit it with my Casey's Blessing, because once I do that, I really don't need anything else. But, hey, I'm going to put a little onion powder in here, too, because it just makes it have good flavor. Just like that. So I'll do a half a teaspoonful of the onion powder. And then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of my Splenda. You can use whatever sweetener you want. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm not going to do a whole lot of honey. You can just use all honey if you want. Now, why am I using honey? Because it sweetens it up a little and it helps it do the glaze thing. It makes it stick. So I'm going to do, let's see, a nice heaping tablespoonful of the honey. You can do 2 if you don't use any other sweetener. Okay, so now I just need something to stir this up with. Let me see what's going on with my cheese sauce over here. And it's melting. It's melting. I'm going to take it up a little because I want it to melt a little faster. So I'm taking it up to a medium heat. And I'm stirring. Because I want it, you know, with the butter, you have to really stir so it doesn't separate. Just like that. Okay. All right. And I don't want it to congeal in the bottom of the pan. So, where was I? I need something to stir this with. So, we'll do that. I'm going to get my big fork because I just like it. And so I'm going to take it and I'm going to stir this stuff up just like this. Now, at this point, you can put a little heat to it if you want to put a little cayenne, if you want, put a little pepper, little hot sauce in it if you like it like that. I don't find it to be necessary. We got all these little flavors going on. I'm going to get it with just a little bit more of the Splenda, and then I'm going to have beautiful assistant come do the taste test because she likes that. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in here, a little black pepper. So about 1/8 teaspoonful of black pepper. And then you can come tell me what you think. Because I may make some more. I look like I'm going to eat that because that meatloaf is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little extra.
Yeah. Okay, so this is melted. It's melted. And I'm going to take it down because I can add, I'm going to put it back to a low.
Taste.
Okay. And then I'm going to take a cup of heavy whipping cream.
That's tasty.
Okay, so I'm going to take a cup of heavy whipping cream, about 2 cups of it. 2.5. Okay, and I'm stirring. Now, you know the heavy whipping cream is going to thicken. So you want to stir. Just like that. You want to stir. Get it all nice and stirred in. And I put it on low. And yes, I know I'm splashing. So now I'm going to take some more of this cheese. And I'm just going to put the cheese in here. Because I want to get a nice cheese sauce. Remember, I'm going to layer cheese on top. So I'm taking the 3 cheddar cheese. And I'm putting a cup full of the 3 cheddar cheese in here. And then I'm going to take the rest of this. And let me just check this because the timer just went off. I'm going to take a cup of mozzarella and put it in here. Okay, and then I'm going to break up some Gouda and put it in here. Let's see how that works. So I'll take a few pieces. I'm going to take 3 pieces of the Gouda because it's pretty thick. I'm just going to break it up so it can melt. So I have 3 pieces. So I'm just going to kind of tear it up into the sauce and crumble it. Okay, off. Now that I have that, let me get the Gouda back in the fridge. Get the rest of the cheese, because I'm not going to put Gouda on top. I just wanted Gouda inside. So the rest of the cheese can stay out here because, of course, I'm going to top off my mac and cheese. So now, once this stuff melts, I am going to put the seasoning in, and then it'll be pretty ready to go inside the skillet. And as soon as, like I said, the meatloaf is ready. Now, right now, I can take that foil off that meatloaf. So let me stir this. Let me just be gentle because I'm got my milk splat, my cream splashing. Let me check this out. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I think it's ready for me to take the foil off. Okay, that's juicy. That right there is juicy. So when you see the juice, and I'm going to try to pull this out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find another microfiber cloth, or yeah, I need another cloth. It's easier for me to work with the cloth. But I just want to pull this out and let you see what the liquid looks like, because you want this liquid to absorb. So sometimes I'll pour some of it off, especially if the meatloaf is ready, because I don't need all that liquid. And I'm still stirring this, and I'll pour some of this liquid off. And then I'll let the rest cook down because I want to put some of the guess we don't have another one, do we? Okay, I'm trying to avoid going over here to my oven mitt. Okay, but I guess I'll do that. Let's see. Come on, let's see. Because this glass ain't no joke. It get hot. So, right now, if you can see, you got a lot of fluid. If you can see through the glass, you want to take some of that off. So I'm going to pour some of it off because I want this to brown some. So, of course, I'm not going to pour this stuff in my sink. I'm going to pour a little bit in this bowl and put some dishwasher detergent in it, some salt, some Dawn in here to cut the grease. And that way I don't have to worry about it clogging up anything. Okay, put that on there. I don't know where beautiful assistant disappeared to, but she usually checks my thermometer because she's the thermometer girl. I'm going to put it back in. And if you can see, this is pretty much ready. So I'm going to stick it in here so it doesn't have the foil part on it. And it can firm up. Once it firms up, then that's when I'm going to get my glaze. And I'm going to brush it with the glaze and then still have the extra glaze there if you want to pour. Okay, so this is, the cheese is melting. I'm going to get my seasonings. So I'll get my Casey's Blessing and get a little bit of salt, pepper, and that's pretty much all I'll need for that. And my secret ingredient, this here egg. Yes. Now, you have to be very mindful when you do an egg in hot stuff because it will curdle. So it has to be a delicate balance of pour and stir very, very quickly. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me get that over here. Put this over. And like I said, there's not a lot of stuff. You can use whatever all-purpose seasoning that you normally use. I would suggest reading the labels if you are salt and sugar sensitive. Okay, so I put about 2 teaspoonfuls this time in. And I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoonful of the black pepper. And then I'm going to put some salt. Okay, just probably an 1/8 teaspoonful of salt. But I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of my sweetener. And the reason why is because these particular cheeses are kind of bitter. And unless you want a really sharp, I just put 1 little squirt, a really sharp tasting mac and cheese, which I don't want really sharp, but I don't want it, I want it to have a little bite. Okay, that's what I said. I want it to have a little bite, just to give it a little difference. And so I'm just got that going around, all around the world. Just like that, until it melts. And like I said, with all these different types of cheeses, they all kind of melt differently. So you end up with this kind of pull going on, all this good stuff. So now I'm going to take my egg, and I told you I beat it. So what you do with this egg, you quickly put this egg in here, you start stirring because you don't want scrambled eggs. And the egg works as a good binder for your mac and cheese. So let me just stir, stir, stir. I'm doing really fast. Get it all incorporated, and it's going to be wonderful. Just like that. So get that all in there. Stir it, stir it. Just like that. That's wonderful. Okay, and so now this is done. You got a cheese sauce, a nice cheese sauce right there. Thick, creamy, ready to put your mac in, and then layer. Okay, so let me get rid of this. And like I said, there's all kinds of ways to make mac and cheese. I do different types because, hey, it gives some variety. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to start putting the macaroni in, not to crowd my cheese. If it's too much macaroni, we'll save the rest. Okay, so we'll start. I'm going to put maybe half of it in. And I want every piece to be coated. So that's why I said I'm not going to crowd it. Okay, just like that. That's perfect. This right here, this is enough. It really is. It's enough. Now, if you want moist mac and cheese, you want to make sure that your cheese sauce is not too thick, but not too thin. When you're baking it, definitely, because the process of baking is simply a drying out dynamic, really. Now, because I'm not doing baking, I'm just browning. And like I said, let me get a little bit more seasoning in here, because the last thing I want is bland mac and cheese. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit more salt. Okay? And a little bit more of this heavy whipping cream to loosen it just a bit. All right, so just stir. Get that all nice and tasty. And see, right now, that egg I put in there is all done. Because I stirred it in, it heated through, and that's that. Okay, so that's a good thing. So now this is all ready. I'm going to save the rest of this macaroni because it'll do nothing but, drop some. It'll do nothing but dry it out. They won't get covered. And I want them to be fully covered and coated. So that's the thing. All right, so let me get my cast iron skillet, which is already nice and greased, but I'm going to spray it again because I don't want it sticking. Even though it's pretty seasoned, you know me. And then I'm going to ask people's assistant to come over here and put this in here because I'm tired. Okay? I'm just being real. Okay, if you can pour that in there, that'd be lovely. And I can start straightening up over here because we'll be ready momentarily once we can get our glaze on our meat. You know, in a couple, let's say maybe about 10 minutes, we should be done.
All of it in?
Yeah, put all of it in. Just pour it all in there. And then we're going to sprinkle it. You put half, and then we're going to put the cheese. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put half in, and then we're going to layer cheese. We're going to take the rest of these little cheeses here and layer. And it's not much here, but yeah. But you see, look at that pull. And so spread that. She's going to spread that on the bottom. And then she's going to just sprinkle a little bit of this mozzarella and the rest of this. Half of this. So we're doing probably a quarter cup of what's left of the mozzarella. And like I said, you can put whatever cheese you want. You want to put some cheese slices on there, whatever. Okay. And sprinkle that. And you want to save a little bit so you can sprinkle on the next layer. Okay, just like that. Okay, and so you take that and then you're doing the same thing. And get some of those herbs. Get the Italian herbs and kind of sprinkle that in just for some beautiful color. Oh, that's basil. It's over there. Okay. Okay, just sprinkle lightly. Because it's all about the visuals, y'all. For me. And I want it to be for you. Beauty in food is important. Okay, it really is. I really do believe that.
A little more?
Yeah, you can do a little more. Yeah, so more like, okay, so like this. So let me show you guys. Okay, you take a pinch, and then you just kind of, just like that. Okay, now she's going to put the rest of the mac and cheese on top, and she's going to put the rest of the cheese and evenly distribute that cheese. So this is really cheesy. Okay, and yeah. So once we got all that out, we're going to flatten it down, spread it down, and then we're going to put the rest of the cheese on there. And let me get that. I'll put that in the sink. Okay, get a little water in there.
Was this one?
No.
Okay, I heard something just put.
Yeah, because this one went on. That one was on.
Okay.
Okay. Get that all watered in. Okay, and now that you got that, you want to clean that mac and cheese off the side. And you want to kind of make it flat as you can because it's just going to go in the broiler.
Right.
And broil the top. If we can get a piece of paper towel, we'll be straight.
Okay.
Okay, with that, I'm going to clean that up just a little bit before I put the cheese on, just around the sides. Again, this is me. Okay, you don't have to be so persnickety. Yes, we are going to do more herbs. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of herb.
Okay, cheese.
Okay, just like that. So it's a layering process, guys. Just like that. Okay, we're going to do that cheese. Sprinkle it all around, just like that, and get the rest of that mozzarella.
Yeah.
And find the top to this. I don't know what I did with it. Or what you did with it. Okay.
Here.
Okay, got the top to that. And this. Okay, get that on there.
And then we're ready to go.
And then we're going to do, finally, we're going to hit it with our Parmesan. I'm not Parmesan, the paprika
Okay.
for some color and some smokiness. Okay? And then we're going to put it in the oven after we get our meatloaf out. Because we need to put it on broil. But until then, it's already ready, setting up, just waiting for us. And I'm going to let you see what it looks like before it goes in. So you'll know just what it needs to look like with your paprika. Okay? So, let me show you guys what it looks like. Here you go. And it's going to go in and you're going to nicely brown it. But let me put a top on here until then. And let me check my meatloaf and see what's happening. Let's wipe the stove off. Okay, just like that. And check it out. So meatloaf's been in here for about 7 minutes. And it's absorbing some of that fluid. That's why I took some off. Okay, beautiful sister, if you can check it out with your thermometer and see where you're at. Okay, because it smells delicious.
It sure does.
And then I can put my, I probably pour a little bit more of that juice. Very juicy. Very juicy. So you don't have to worry about this being dry at all.
Can I use that fiber cloth for a second? Thank you.
Now she's going to put the thermometer in the middle of it and on the sides. Let's see where we're at.
Right. I'm getting 126 in the middle. Sides 164.
And see, that's what I was telling you about how the middle cooks slower than the sides.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because the sides are pretty practically
Right, but you got to do it from the middle.
middle. Yeah, I think the highest I'm seeing is 129.
Okay.
So I'd say probably about another 10, 15 minutes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up to 450 so it can cook a little more in the middle. And what happens is when you put the foil there, that kind of blocks some of the heat. But I don't want to have to clean my oven, so in case it bubbles over. But actually, we can take the foil off because I don't think it's going to bubble over at this point.
No.
Yeah. So we can take the foil off. We're going to take the foil out the way.
Okay.
So the heat can conduct a little bit more.
Okay.
And get that middle going. But see, that's why I press the middle down for that very reason. Okay, so we're going to push that in. We're going to take the oven up to 450 so it can cook a little faster. Okay, get that out the way. Yeah, so let's take it up. We're going to do a quick preheat.
Oh.
We're going to do a quick preheat and put it on 450. And like I said, you don't have to do that when you have time. Of course, you know, for the purposes of TV and all the time we waste it.
I wouldn't do longer than 10 minutes just basically.
Yeah, she's going to do 10 minutes because she's nervous about that.
Just like
Yes. So let me get back over here. All right. So we have our glaze. We have our meatloaf waiting. This is going to be really good. And so, like I said, finally, in conclusion about these particular relationship dynamics and the songs. Beautiful songs, beautiful sentiment, can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. I've done it in about, 7 different flavors, you know. And like I said, when love stops fitting, get a new pair of shoes. I know. Yeah. I'm all about not having your feet hurting for real. or your feelings. So no, you have to, like I said, you have to come to grips with your emotions, and you have to get this part in conjunction with this part. And once you can do that, then you can move on with that part. And then you're not sitting and waiting for them to come back and to fulfill needs that they're not trying to do. You know, and that's the bottom line. So tell me, what do you guys think? Hey, my chatty family over there in the chat, what y'all think? Nobody says anything anymore over there. Y'all are over there worrying about that meatloaf sandwich, aren't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I understand. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Food is the best conduit to conversation. And you don't have to have any. You can just, because I can talk enough for everybody. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, I sure can. So it's not even a problem. If you just enjoy hearing the sound of my voice, that works for me, because everybody has a room in the FlavaHouse. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to be doing our weekend eats, our reset for the week, and I look forward to that. And I'm going to be doing some yummy chicken shish kebabs with a delicious, I ain't telling y'all what the side is. You're going to have to come. How about that? But I'm going to tell you, those shish kebabs are on and popping. They are so delicious, so succulent. And of course, you know, I'm going to have a delicious brown butter. Yeah, you just have to be there. And that's at 7:30 tomorrow night. Yes, be there or be square. I'll have some shorts out to kind of lead you to the trail so you don't miss out, for sure. Because we're here all the time. We're just filling up these rooms in our house so you can have somewhere to be who you be. Let's see. How many minutes we got? Oh, 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Tell me I can talk. Hey, Lo, how are you? Okay, it's been a day. What's the question? What you said? It's been a
day for her. I guess she's had a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "What's the question?" She was asking, "What's the question?"
Oh, well, the question is, do you? Let's see. You made me forget the question, Long. Okay. No, I would say, you know, well, we know what the topic is. Okay, but the question is, do you think that it is possible to, I'm going to say, to resurrect what I think is a toxic relationship? I think that the person would come back. I do, if they were allowed to come back. I think that they would let them. I think so. What do you think, Lone? And I'm going to give you a few minutes to reply. Because like I said, I'm looking at these songs and, you know, of course, I'm pulling them apart outside of what they normally represent. And yeah, let me check the oven while you mull that around your head, Lone, and give me one of your good insights. See, that's what I needed. I needed to bring up the flavor, because see, look at that. Now you can come try it.
It's not done yet. That was just the oven getting to 450.
No, I know, but I'm saying I'm looking at this. You see how it's getting angry. It's getting. I'm gonna take some of this sauce off. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let me get that. Yeah, because see, it's emitting more fluid.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it's getting
Getting closer to done.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit of this. Oh, it's really hot. And I'm pouring a lot of it off, because the more you have on here, it keeps bringing out more. The more you have on, you can tell that it's getting done.
Yeah.
The more it smells so good. I can't wait to taste this. I don't know if I want any sauce on mine.
May not need it. Maybe just have that on the side that's dipping sauce.
Yeah, well, I like the sauce too, but you know.
Hey, either way.
Okay. I need to get.
Test it.
But yeah, test it, because I want to wipe this off.
Okay.
So I don't want that burning on me. Okay, so try it. See what you got.
Okay, we're at 169, 173.
Okay, it's done.
Yeah, it's pretty much done.
Exactly. So I'm going to pour the rest of this off, and I'm just going to put my sauce on there.
Yeah,
And then put it back.
Dry out more.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna take some more of this sauce off. Just like that. And then I'm gonna put my glaze on here. And when I take it out the next time, guess what? Plating that puppy. Well, I gotta put my mac and cheese in, but yeah, in a couple of minutes. But I'm gonna let y'all see what this looks like. Okay? So right now it's done. I'm just gonna put the glaze on.
It really didn't shrink up as bad as what.
No, it didn't, because you have all these different meats. That's what I'm thinking. And it's very, very juicy. Very juicy. Okay. All right. So let me get a glaze on here.
Lone said only if my life depended upon it, and even then we might go coffin shopping on our date night.
What does that mean, Lone? You gonna go coffin shop?
Like, basically, what I'm hearing is I ain't going for that.
You're not. You said you can't go for that, huh?
I ain't going for that.
Oh my. Okay, I'm gonna get one of my nice serving spoons and put that on here. Get some of that on here. And just spoon it on. Just like that. Okay.
Oh, the grill master has
Has risen.
risen to the chat to say hello to the evening. Good evening, everyone.
See, just in time for the plating.
Of course.
Okay.
Lone said I had this thought when I reread The Handmaid's Tale. Under their laws, I'd have to go back to the first relationship. Shudder. I would not be a happy camper. Oh dear.
Okay, so I'm not registering. Is she talking about the movie? The movie Shutter?
She says she reread The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, okay. The book. Okay, I got you. You have to know the book. I think that was one. Wasn't that one of the ones up for Academy Award? Lone. The movie, not the book. Okay, so look, y'all. So now it is fully covered with a glaze. I'm sticking it in. Just like that. And just let it congeal a little. Just like that. We got a little bit of glaze left, of course, so for aesthetics. So we can just kind of slather it all over the place. And then we will get our mac and cheese in the boiler. That'll take about 5 minutes. And we're going to plate this up. So if you guys can get some plates, yeah, we'll be ready in a moment. Okay. So, yeah, that was the question, Lone. Because like I said, at the end of the day, does your love fit? And I do believe that is something that is just, it is what it is. I don't think that you can force anything. You can tell yourself that it is what you want it to be. But, right, are you trying to make it fit? And then when you try to make it fit and it really doesn't materialize in the way that you want it to, are you still trying to squeeze it in? Are you still trying to get it on the plate? Are you still trying to get it in those spanks? Because of principle's sake. Well, no, because I just put it back in here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. Yeah, so I'm going to put it for 5.
Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Okay, just so my glaze can congeal. But it's ready now. Yeah, so, yeah, that's how I'm thinking about it. You can't make a partner. A partner is or it isn't. A partner's invested or they're not. I don't know, sometimes, because like I said, we do have things like arranged marriages and things like that where people grow on each other. But it's still not the same as if it's organic. That's how, I feel. When you are, well, everything has to be intentional, yes, in a relationship. But when you are basically setting up scenarios for people you really don't know. So Lone says, okay, I can't barely see this. It says, nope, nada,
No.
niche. Nope, not a niche. I'll figure out their languages to use to say, okay, you read it because it's closer to you.
I'm trying. Nope, not a
Niche.
niche. Okay. I'll figure out other languages to use to say nope. Handmaid's Tale was made in. I got an ad. Hang on.
I've heard that before, and I thought that they made a movie.
Hold on, was made in 1989. The film starred Robert Duvall
Right.
and Faye Dunaway.
Dunaway, yes.
Religious dystopian story. What? Religious dystopian story.
Okay, you missed one. One more. Yes, one more. Okay, let's see what we got.
Smells really tasty.
Ooh, yeah. And it still has fluid. It is so juicy. It is so juicy. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna get this out. Yes, I am. And I'm gonna turn this on broil, and I'm gonna get the mac and cheese in. Because it's still got juice coming out. And this is a good thing. You don't want no dry meatloaf. Okay, I'm gonna pour a little of this off. Wow, that's a lot.
We did have Wagyu.
Huh?
We had some Wagyu, right? In there.
Yeah, we did. And the Wagyu beef is very, 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 it's fatty.
Very juicy.
It's juicy and fatty. Okay, guys, so this is what you got going on. There you go. This is your 3-mix meatloaf with the delicious glaze. We have extra glaze to put on it. We're going to sit it over here and let it rest for a moment. And we're going to get our mac and cheese in here. And I do need a piece of foil back in there. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to put it on broil. Let me get the timer off. Timer. Okay, so let's get broil on and start that. Got a timer. I'm gonna get a piece of foil and put there because I'm using this cast iron skillet and it's seasoned. And I'm just trying to brown it on top because mac and cheese is already done. Just like that. Let me get that in here and get my skillet inside here. Okay, we're gonna put it in right there in the middle. Move that around. And we're gonna keep it in here until this melts and gets a little toasty. All right, we're gonna let this rest for a minute so we can slice it and get it on a plate. How about that?
Okay. Let's do it.
Yes, so that's that. So my question is, are you being loved for who you are or for who you're trying to become? That's another thing. That goes directly. Huh?
Lola said adding renovations, not revivals.
I hear you. Okay.
She said no mashed taters and gravy. You can definitely do that.
Yes, you can definitely have that's what I was saying earlier. You can have mashed potatoes, you can have baked potatoes, you can have gravy, you can have rice. My sister loves just a meatloaf sandwich, which she said lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese, and all of the fixings. I'm choosing that. I just had a hankering for some skillet mac and cheese. So I did that. But there's so many different things that you can do with this. You can just have a salad. You can have a vegetable. Listen, the sides are endless. The thing is that this right here, the meat that it gives meatloaf a different dynamic. It's just as delicious, but it's just, it's just not plain old meatloaf anymore. Although that's good too, So it's like giving a little diversity. Because let's face it, we have but so many different types of meats and foods and stuff like that. Yes, Long. Okay. You said I serve it with eggs. That's another thing. Because I was thinking about making some potato salad and some collard greens. Yeah, I sure would. If you want to take it to the South, you sure can. So there's so many things you can do. So many things you can do. And that's what I say. Comfort food is comfort food. You can take it up, you can take it to the middle, or you can leave it right where it is. And it doesn't matter what culture it comes from. It still makes you feel a little warm and fuzzy inside. Not like those mates that you have to create. They make you feel warm and fuzzy as long as, what do you call it, as long as the Benjamins are flowing. Is that what they call it now, or they call it something else now?
Probably something. But we get the same sentiment.
Okay.
I don't know really what you say.
Oh, that was looking really cool. I'll let that melt. Yeah, that's going to be really good. So, yeah, because in this house alone, I have a bunch of little mice. They love cheese, big and small. I like certain cheeses. Okay, I don't eat cheese on everything. But in this house, cheese is not safe. Chicken is not safe. What else is not safe here? Okay, food's not safe. And yes, and I see 9 wonderful people here. Can that one person like if you like it? And I hope that this has been as good for you guys as it always is for me. I'm going to tell you, I was feeling a little under the weather today, but the thought of coming here just kind of took it all away. Now, when I shut this down, then I'll probably crawl somewhere and, take a bunch of Advil. But until then, like I said, I enjoy you guys immensely. And I thank you all for coming. For all of you new viewers out there, hey, welcome home. Let me take a look. Okay, we ready. Just like that. Because just like that, it done got Cajun. It done got down there where Lone is. Cajun. Just like I wanted. Okay, so let me get this over here. We stick that here. Perfect. That's why when you do your broiler, you always want to be watching. Okay, so let me let you guys see. How cute is that? Look at that. This is your skin. It's still so nice and smooth. I will slit out the doggone thing. Okay, this is what we got going on. So we're gonna plate this up. Let me get my top on here. Yes. Okay, and I'm gonna cut this and hope it doesn't fall apart. Okay, so it's pretty big, y'all. The pieces are pretty big. So let's see. I think I'll use this. The pieces are pretty big. So I'm plating this up for those of you who just popped in. And it's going to be, I think I'm going to cut it down the middle because it's really big. And then I'm going to cut it again because this is really big. Really big. Okay. All right. So let me see. I'm going to get a sharper knife. Now see, this is not even a knife right here. That's not a knife. That's a little spatula. So let me just cut it. Just like that. And I'm just cutting it down. Cut it down. And this will feed quite a few people because it's pretty big. And I'm cutting nice big pieces. Because y'all know I always do. Just like that. Okay. All right. Piping hot. All that. So now I take my spatula. Because there's always that end piece, y'all, that want to give you a problem. So let me see if I can get it out. Okay. All right. So we did this little thing. Are you hungry, Corey, or a lot, little, or what?
Not that much.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2 to start. How about that? Okay, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of this sauce to drizzle on there, just like that. Okay. Just a touch. Put that on there. Yeah, I should have made more sauce, and I guess I'll make some more. All right, we get a little bit of this mac and cheese. Let's see what we got. There's some mac and cheese here. Take the top off. Okay, so we're gonna cut that like that. Oh Lord, look at
the cheese pull.
Look at the pull. I can't get it on the plate. The cheese pull is so big. It went off the side of the plate. It's all over the place. Okay. All right. Lots of cheese. So I'm gonna have to eat that. I got cheese everywhere.
You don't eat it, I eat it.
I'm sure you will. Okay, let's get some more of that. A lot of cheese. Oh my goodness. I can't. This is messy, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie. I can't make this look pretty. This is just cheese everywhere. Okay, we're gonna try to clean it up a little. But of course, you know, I gotta let y'all see what it look like. Get your fork. I didn't know it was gonna be that cheesy and creamy. Okay, so here you are. There is your delicious 3-mix meatloaf with that lovely, lovely sauce. If you like what you see, give me some hearts. Do your thing. Let me turn it around. Okay, there you go. Okay, delicious, delicious. Okay, give it a taste. Let me make up everybody else's.
And take a look at that cheese pull, you guys. Like, it's crazy.
Ooh, that looks tasty.
Oof. Gonna try this mac first.
Mind you, the star is the meatloaf.
Nice and creamy, cheesy, just the way I like it. And now, you see that meatloaf? Let's go ahead and give that a taste.
That's nothing. Fine. Delicious.
Not only does it smell good, it tastes good. Yeah, I love it's nice and juicy. You knew this already from how it was like cooking and everything. It was like all the juices coming out of it. It is still very much juicy, very tender. It's like I love the sauce on it.
And I don't know where the grill master went, but I'm just gonna put his plate over here.
Be right back.
Okay, you can give it to him here.
You can really taste the different meats that are in here as well, but they blend together.
Okay,
Here
let me
you go.
grab this.
It's just an excellent meal right here.
Okay, that looks fantastic.
And I'm gonna plate your meat up, beautiful assistant, and you can put your own mac and cheese on it.
Yep, that's just fine. I will get me a utensil.
Bring that over. Just like that. Tell me what you think, Grill Master.
That pull is unbelievable.
Sounds beautiful.
You
That
want
pull-
1 or 2?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll start with 1.
Okay. And I will do the same.
Oh, God, that mac and cheese is to die for, honey.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the
Lord,
meatloaf?
oh my God.
They tried the meatloaf. That's the star. Mac and cheese is just a little extra touch.
You think the mac and cheese is the star?
No, it isn't.
Oh my Lord.
Everything's the star.
The mac and
That's
cheese is
why
the
they're
side
royal
piece.
remains.
Yeah, the mac and cheese is the side piece. It sure is.
You want a small little scoop? Like
Yeah, I'm gonna get a small little scoop.
that? Okay. Got enough for you?
Okay. No, but this is mine right here.
Oh, okay. This
That's
one's
yours.
That mac, that meatloaf was to die for. honey.
Okay. So we can't hear you. So he says the meatloaf is to die
Oh
for.
my God.
What does it taste like to you?
Mm.
Is it moist? Do you like the sauce?
You want me to get some for you?
Everything about it. I mean, wow. That's the best meatloaf I ever had in my life.
That's the best meatloaf he ever had in his life, y'all.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, I told you. See, you always gotta come correct up in here because they're picky.
I'm
So
gonna just step this on your plate for you.
yes. So beautiful sister's gonna give you her opinion while I make
Yes,
mine.
I am going to give you my opinion. First of all, I just had a little taste of the glaze that's on the meatloaf. Delicious, nice, sweet, kind of smoky flavor to it. A little bit almost like a barbecue kind of sauce to it.
But not quite.
Not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also like the fact that the meat is still moist.
Very moist.
It comes apart like with no effort with your fork. But even with the breadcrumbs and all of the other additives that you would think would dry it out, but it's the perfect balance and it holds up a perfect texture. And even to all that moisture as it was cooking, all that juice that rose up from the Wagyu beef, the integrity of the meatloaf held up perfectly. And flavor-wise, let me just taste it all together because I like to have the whole experience, me personally. Me personally.
The whole experience.
The whole experience. So, without burning myself.
That sauce is outstanding.
That is delicious. I agree. That's the best meatloaf I've ever had.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's perfect texture. And it's like you wouldn't know what meat's in there. They just all work together and make like a super meat with all these delicious flavors just rolling around.
Right.
Sweet,
and having the different
savory
flavors that complement those meats. Yeah.
It's delicious.
So I got two saying it's the best meatloaf. Y'all better try this.
Oh yeah.
Baby, be careful. Your pull is still on the side of your plate.
Oh wow. Okay, my pull is look at my pull still on the side of the plate. Child, y'all, let me tell y'all something. My pull about to go on my plate. This mac and cheese is so mac and cheesy. So I'm gonna take a piece of this and I'm gonna try to get as close as I can. But you see how nice and moist that is. It's not dry at all. And that's because you don't have to load your meatloaf with breading. I didn't even put egg in here to bind it. Okay. I didn't do any of that. I just seasoned it. I put it all together and I already been eating it. Let me taste it.
Beautiful sister.
This is so good.
That's super coriander.
This is delicious. This is delicious. I'm telling you. And it's so smooth. By pulverizing those vegetables, heighten the flavor. It heightened. You can taste every seasoning individually. The meat itself, the combination of meats, I really, really suggest that you do a mix. Just every now and then to make it different. For my family to say, this is the best meatloaf they ever had.
Yes, ma'am.
And I make good meatloaf.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. This right here is a 10 out of 10 winner. I say, do this. I say, do this. And I also say, if you don't feel that your love is a fit, don't try to force it. Let it happen organically. It may be a fit and you just don't realize it. It may not be, and you need to realize it. In any case, I hope that this has been enlightening for you. It has been for me. I love being here. I hope you come back again real soon. Hope you come back next week because we're going to have some more interesting things to talk about. And we are going to have some more delicious food to cook up and eat. And like I said, tomorrow, hit us up at the Saturday reset of Weekend Eats at 7:30. Ooh, baby. Also, for those of you who are looking for Casey's Blessing, hey, you got maybe about 5 to 7 more days. And I am going to put it out, 50 of them. You better get it while it's hot because people have been beating me down for 2 years to get it. You better get it. In any case, I hope that you guys, whether you are trying to have a relationship, maintain a relationship, navigate through a relationship, or just a relationship, getting to know who you are, which is perfectly fine. I hope you all find the courage to find your rhythm and dance. I am going to see you guys next week. Yes, I will. Same bat channel, same bat time. I'm going to finish this up. Love you much. Thank you for coming. See, you wouldn't want to be ya. Let me get over here and press this button. Bye-bye. All right.